industry feeling the pressure is U.S. quartz manufacturing. It's been facing a flood of foreign imports, including transshippings from countries like India, Turkey, Vietnam, threatening more than 100,000 American jobs and local communities. Joining me now is the CEO of Cambria. Marty Davis is here. Cambria is a Minnesota-based, family-owned manufacturer of American-made countertops of quartz countertops. Marty, great to see you. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Maria. Great to see you again.
What did you think of the president's comments last night, and assess the backdrop for us in terms of what you're seeing from international competitors?
I think the president's comments were right on the money. He was actually quite kind about it. What the decision they made the policy they made to take away his power as in the executive branch and as our president to protect America both on an economic front and a military front in a manner to use America's economic power in the markets that people are so attracted to here to get proper behavior for America and put America first.
So what do you want to say to the president that as he is about to travel to Beijing to meet with Xi Jinping? I know India is also a country that you've had to deal with this.
Yeah, the Pacific Rim to me is very predatory. They come in and they hijack our manufacturing in the United States by selling products to our prosperous middle class. And when they go home, they don't tell the people they just sold the product to that it's their job they're taking back to China or India or the rest of the Rim. So I think they're very predatory. They come in with cheap products. They game the system. It's not free and fair trade. They manipulate their currency. They fund. China is a large state-owned enterprise. Both Vietnam and China are communist countries where they game the economics of the manufacturing systems there to really to offshore American manufacturing. And they target it. In our industry, they have targeted 95% of the quartz products they make in the Pacific Rim they took from manufacturing here and sell it all into the United States. It's not for their domestic market at all. It's very predatory.
So right now, we just had Jameson Greer on, and he was telling us about the investigations that are underway. He's doing investigations over the 232 and 301 authorities that the president will use for tariffs. What specifically do you want to point out that he needs to understand or they need to uncover about these probes and studies that they're doing?
Well, first of all, Jameson Greer is a brilliant guy, so we're lucky to have him there. The president made a great choice. Of course, President Trump is brilliant about these matters as well. He understands it very, very well. But we have to make sure that we get in and take a deep look at how they subsidize, how they game the currency, and how they game their system to take advantage and create a false economic platform for their manufacturing and coming in and harvesting and hijacking the prosperity born of our free and fair markets. So they don't have free and fair market rules, but they come in and harvest the prosperity that is created by that market economy. Under a command economy, they can manipulate a lot of things. So I think the president has to stay strong. I know he likes deals, they say. I don't know. He's pretty sharp about all this, and he's got to stand strong with them. I mean, Modi is a wolf in sheep's clothes. And in my opinion, and India is the next China, Maria. We've talked about it. China is reverse fracking their policy through Malaysia, Vietnam, Thailand. They're orchestrating all this trade after Trump came down on them in 2018. We as an industry came down on them. They immediately pivoted that tariff material that was restricted through the rest of the Pacific Rim. They're very talented. Trump always says they're very smart. He's right. And I think we have to remember these are foreign governments, not foreign people in most cases. The private manufacturing sector of those government countries definitely participates in that. But these are Vietnam and China are communist governments, and they facilitate, China does in large part with their technology. They own a lot of the plants in Thailand now. Yeah. And so they're really sharp. They need what we have. We have the prosperous middle class. It's interesting. They come and hijack our middle class jobs to sell products to our middle class, our prosperous middle class. At some point, that circle will catch up, and the market that they're selling to won't have a job.
So what are the levers the president needs to pull? Because in the middle of all of this, you've got countries like China holding back things like critical rare earth minerals.
Well, if you look at China, I mean, everybody talks about this. This is a nonpartisan issue. Everybody in America should be behind the president. George Bush and Bill Clinton, in a bipartisan way, screwed this up. And Newt Gingrich, too. He was involved in it. And this most favored nation of 2001, I think it was December of 2001, Bush put him on a permanent basis. They have violated every aspect of the most favored nation WTO entrance that you could violate.
Wow.
We don't hold them accountable. For 10 years, they took 3 million jobs and Bush did nothing about it. Nothing.
Well, I mean, we've got all these Chinese companies traded on U.S. exchanges. Isn't that a lever to pull? To say to China, look, you keep doing this, these predatory actions, then maybe these companies shouldn't be traded and be, you know, exposed to the greatest, most liquid markets in the world.
Well, I think that's true, and you've talked about it before. But I might add, if we would have enforced the rules of Bush putting him in the most favored nation, WTO, like state ownership, they were supposed to go down in state ownership. They went up substantially.
Yeah.
What they've done on rare earth, they're violating all aspects of their most favored nation status in the World Trade Organization. And I think Bush and these guys should be out here. Larry Summers, he caused it. They should be out here saying, hey, we got it wrong.
Yeah.
China didn't go Western democracy. We thank the President of the United States, Donald Trump, for making the tough moves. Now we're here for him.
Yeah, we put a spotlight on it every morning, by the way, because we understand how they got it wrong. But you, in the middle of all of this, are doubling down on your Made in America push. You're shifting courts processing from Canada to this new $80 million facility in Minnesota. Tell us about that.
We process our courts is very unique. We own our own mines in Quebec, and it's a very unique white courts that doesn't really exist in America. So we processed it up in Canada. Recently, we announced, and we're commissioning in May, we've moved all that processing down to Minnesota. So 100% of everything we do there will get the raw material from that particular mine. It's an $80 million investment. We moved it down into Minnesota, and I say onshored, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Well, and this is what the president, one of the things he's doing is this Project Vault, right? He's trying to gather as many of these strategic minerals as possible to ensure that we're not reliant on these countries. What do you want to say as we wrap up here?
Well, I think India is the new China. And together, they've taken the Pacific Rim, they reverse frack into America by working together in various ways. I remember at the Trade Commission in 2018, they said, how will those countries work together? I said, you watch them.
Wow.
And they do.
Marty, we will leave it there. Great to have you this morning. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Maria.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Marty Davis here. Stay with us. We'll be right back.